125 Western Regional Supercross Series. And welcome inside the friendly confines of Bank One Ballpark in the Valley of the Sun for the THQ World Supercross GP. This is the AMA Supercross Series 125 West Region. Hello everyone, Todd Harris along with former champion David Bailey. Welcome to Phoenix, Arizona as we get things started off. What a great race we're in for tonight. Travis Preston, James Stewart, need I say more?
No, I'll tell you what, James Stewart is just amazing with the way he dominates practice. He does all the flashy, stylish stuff, but Travis Preston, as always, just kind of scoots in under the radar and picks up another win. So, although James looks the fastest, he's got to have all his ducks in a row to beat Preston.
A lot of guys focus on Preston and Stewart, but there's still room on the podium for another competitor. Who do you like out of the other contenders?
Well, I'm impressed with Andrew Short. I think he built a lot of confidence on that 250 overseas, and then to pick up that podium like that, it's a great start for him. Also, Billy Lanovich was second fastest in both practice sessions today to James Stewart, so maybe he can get his nose into that podium spot.
And let's not forget Chris Gosler, who looks pretty good as we check the AMA 125 West Region standings. You'll see Travis Preston on top, followed by James Stewart, Andrew Short, and Chris Gosler currently sitting in fourth. Right now, let's check in with a third member of our broadcast team, none other than Cameron Steele.
Well, thanks, guys. I'm not sure whose idea it was to put me out in the stands. The crowd is going nuts here in Arizona. The 125s they take to the track, they sound like chainsaws wide open the whole time they're out there. Check it out. People just jump in front of the camera. It doesn't matter. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear the bikes in here with the crowd going nuts. I wouldn't be surprised if we had to sell out every stop of the tour for Supercross. This one looks to be a darn good one.
It's now time for our THQ track map.
Take a look at this start. Long one into a huge first turn. It resembles more of an outdoor race. The first straightaway is filled with so many combinations through that rhythm section. The next straightaway is a step on, step off into the big triple, a tight bull turn, and a bunch more combinations down this rhythm section. It takes you into right-hander, over the next big triple, and then it gets tough. Under the tunnel, through two whoop sections, out of that, around a right-hand corner, over the finish line jump, back around to the first corner.
125, heat number one. Let's take a look at the Nissan starting grid. James Stewart, Andrew Short, Billy Lanovich, Matt Walker, and we're off. Well, David, he pulled something off he wasn't able to do in Anaheim. Bubba Stewart picks up the whole shot.
That was looking like it did in the practice sessions with Stewart out front, Lanovich number 132 right behind him, but Billy couldn't get through that first rhythm section well, dropped back a few spots. He's the one rider that can really challenge Stewart in the early going here.
James Stewart, number 259, out in front. This is heat number one of the 125 West Regional. 20 riders, 6 laps, top 9 to the main. The 11 others go to the LCQ.
You can see all the fresh tire marks on the track. They've just freshened it up for this first heat. The whoops are as big as they're going to be all night.
Well, I think this is James Stewart going out and sending a message. I know he was disappointed last week in the main in Anaheim, coming up second, but it was a phenomenal race by him. And we have a rider that's already bogged down, number 41. Andrew Short, who spoke up at the top of the show. Short back up and running now as we go back to our leader, James M. Stewart Jr. out of Haines City, Florida on the Kawasaki.
How's that lead already? You got Walker back there in fourth. Those two got together in practice this afternoon. It was in this corner right here. Walker took James Stewart a little bit high right there. Stewart didn't like it. About 4 corners later, Stewart put Walker on the ground. So if those guys get near each other, we could see some fireworks, but I don't think Walker or anybody is going to catch Stewart right now.
Steve Mertens, number 120, currently sitting in second place out of Sonoma, California, riding the Yamaha. Behind him at 757, that's Kevin Johnson at Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Kevin Johnson finishing 10th in the main event last week, building a little bit of confidence. This is great for him to get a good start. It's demoralizing to have Stewart clear on the other side of the stadium already. Only third lap of this race, and Stewart has an incredible lead.
Do the folks in his pits ever put out a pit sign as he goes through their crew saying, slow down, you've got this thing in hand, or is it just keep doing what you're doing?
Just keep doing what you're doing. His mechanic, Jeremy Albrecht, used to be the mechanic for Jeff Emig. He's pretty humorous. I wouldn't be surprised if they threw a little comedy on that chalkboard just to keep James real relaxed out there, keep a smile into that helmet. And that's how you practice during the week. The guys come into the race and then they get a little bit more tense. So I think they're trying to just keep him in that practice mode where he rides real relaxed. This battle is looking good. Johnson getting around. Mertens right there, number 120 on the Yamaha.
Kevin Johnson currently sitting in third in the battle he's got going on with Matt Walker in fourth out of McRae, Georgia on the Kawasaki. Halfway through the race, and it has been all 259. Flash in the fresh pink. James Stewart off and running.
Coming up on a 10-second lead over these guys. Kevin Johnson will be stoked to finish second right here, but and he is just getting crushed by James Stewart. So is everyone else. I'm surprised. Look behind these guys. Matt Walker coming to the inside right there, not able to close the gap, which is a little bit surprising. Walker went down really hard yesterday. It took him a long time to get up, but didn't look like it affected him when I watched him in practice today, but still a little bit off the pace.
Little different setup in the 250 to 125. We've got 20 riders. 9 of them will go to the main event and 11 to the LCQ. So you really want to get in that top 9, as we've talked about before. LCQ is no man's land when anything can happen.
I believe Andrew Short had to go to the LCQ last week. A lot of guys did, and Short was still able to pull off a podium, but man, you really want to qualify directly out of your heat race. Short all the way up into 11th now. We saw him go down early. Stewart's lead now almost 11 seconds, and his best lap of the race of 52, and these guys are turning 55, so 3 seconds a lap. These guys can't even see him anymore.
Yeah, not hard to do the math on that. 3 seconds a lap. There you see Matt Walker having some problems right now. It's Kevin Johnson who's starting to put some distance between himself and Matt Walker, and that is the battle between Matt Walker currently sitting in fourth.
Number 93 going over the triple right there. Josh Hansen. There's Billy Lanovich whipping it.
As we go back to our leader, James Stewart will be coming through on lap traffic, a 17-year-old, 5'6", 141 pounds, pound for pound, maybe the best rider in the 125 West region as he enters the final lap, and he has just put on a show here in heat number 1.
Yeah, the flagger's running across the track right there. James probably going, hey, get out of the way, but he's coming up to a triple. He's been doing a lot of knack-knacks lately. See if he does one right now.
Well, his advantage is so far, he's at 12-second lead right now. He could coast this thing home in first gear and have no problem whatsoever.
That
now,
triple right there, Todd, sorry to interrupt, that is amazing. I just was down there just about 20 minutes ago looking at it, and right out of that corner to generate enough speed to clear that gap on a 125 is just amazing. Walker closing the gap a little bit on Mertens now, so he's starting to find his rhythm a little bit better, but it's pretty demoralizing for a guy like Walker, there's been a little bit of smack talk on the internet. He thinks he can do something with James, but James doesn't think so.
Not in heat number 1, James Stewart, your winner. Heat number 1 of the 125 West region as we get things off and running here at Bank One Ballpark. Riders still trying to complete this lap. It has been all James Stewart. And with riders continuing to fall, Johnson will come into second. Mertens will settle for third, and then it's Walker into fourth. When we come back to Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix, Arizona, we'll have results of 125 heat number 1 right after this. Steve Mertens, Matt Walker, and Akira Narita. Let's go back down to the track and Cameron Steele.
Well, James, it seems moto number 1 went much better than the main for you last week. I understand you weren't happy with your start, so you got a little extra counseling this week.
Yeah, you know, Jeff Hemming helped me out. You know, we've been working on starts all week, and you know, I feel really comfortable on it. And I'm tired of people getting lucky. I'm trying to get it tonight.
If everything goes like it did in that heat in the main, I'm sure you'll be pretty happy.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to go out there and have fun, do a couple knack-knacks, and you know, get a crowd what they came for. It's a good show, and I'm gonna try to get it in the main tonight.
We'll see you then.
Thanks, Cameron.
We are now set for heat number 2 of the 125 West Regional as we look at our THQ starting grid. This is a good one. Travis Preston at Hesperia, California. Christopher Gosler, Danny Smith, and David Pingree. So those are the 4, David, I would look for. Pingree's been looking awfully good in practice.
Yeah, he's starting to get a little confidence back. He started off a bit slow, and he's starting to pick it up a little bit. He was able to get into the top 10 last week, finished 8th, but remember it was last year here. He was leading his heat race after a win in Anaheim, came up a little short on the triple, and the whole front end broke off the motorcycles. That really took the wind out of his sails.
No question. As the 30 card is up, they are set to go. This is heat number 2 of the 125 West Regional.
Looked like Gosler right away. Somebody coming in from the outside.
As we go on board with Tyler Evans on the ECC Suzuki number 64, the 22-year-old giving us a ride. And he's in good position right now.
That's how it looks in the top 5. This is the approach to the triple. Got Pingree just to the right. Preston goes by. Come on, Tyler, pick it up. Give us some good shots. Stay with these guys. Now, remember, Gosler won his heat race last week at Anaheim, and he had the lead in the main event. I thought he was going to be gone, but he rode a little tight maybe, and here he's got another shot to try to establish that rhythm that was working for him at Anaheim until the main.
Your leader, Christopher Gosler, out of Corona, California, on board the Honda. Looking very good, as you put it out, David. One of the guys we talked about at the top of the show. Certainly a threat. We talked so much about Preston and Stewart, but guys like Gosler and Short and Pingree certainly can get in the mix.
Good run right now for Pascal Ray, French guy. I can't say that name. I can guess, but he's a friend of Villemin, and I saw him ride at the 125 Invitational in Paris. Pretty strong rider, just trying to build some experience over here on American Supercross tracks, and he's starting to come around.
Pasquale Leray out of KTM, the KTM 1 tag ride. And we got some good dicing here. Remember, this is lap 2 of 6. We take the top 9 to the main, the other 11 go to the LCQ. It's a 6-lap race.
See Preston working his way up. He's got Pascal next. Trying to get up there and make it a 1-2 sweep for the Amsoil Honda guys. He's got his teammate Gosler up front. He's starting to gain right here up Pascal. If there's one spot on the racetrack where he may be stronger than anybody in this heat race and maybe stronger than Stewart, it's that whoop section. But I don't think there's enough of them this week for him to really show that talent.
Travis Preston, as we said, out of Hesperia, California. He's the defending 125 West Region champion, winning last year in a surprise manner, beating James Stewart. But this kid is solid. Not as flashy, doesn't get as much pub. Travis Preston can flat out ride a bike. And as David pointed out, it's one of the best interviews you'll ever get after the race is over.
Yeah, he's very relaxed. Here he comes to the inside. He might be able to get that block pass done. Pascal looks over. Not close enough. But they're coming up to the whoops. I'd look for Preston to just hop down the right side, try to put a block pass on him if you can't get him before that.
Sets up on the inside that time, gets a nice long run at him, but he still cannot close the gap. Give a credit to Pascal, and there it is.
Well, he doesn't have to run down the right side for the block pass. He did it before they got there. You see the gap he opened up that time, by able to take his own line. And there's still time for him to catch his teammate. Their lap times, though, are nowhere near what we just saw from Stewart. Maybe now that Preston's in here, around the halfway mark.
Let's take a look at this pass one more time. They'll come into the view, and this is where they come underneath the tunnel.
Pascal knew that, just like when he came off the triple a couple corners before that, he just got out of the way right there. So you can see that Travis's intentions were that he was going to take the inside right there, and if he didn't give it to him, he was going to put him into those tough blocks on the outside.
2 laps remaining in the 6th lap affair. It is all Team Honda right now. We've got Preston and Gosler out in front. Look at this race between number 29, that's Smith. And is it bike number 7 he's racing with?
No, that's David Pingree, number 51. Trying to keep pace with these guys.
David Pingree out of Temecula, California, on board the Suzuki. Everyone trying to avoid the last chance qualifier in the 6th lap of the race in the 125 heat number 2 here at Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix, Arizona.
This is a section that I really like that usually in the track map, they'll leave a section that's just wide open, let these guys really just get on the power and get up into another gear, get some speed, but they always end up putting something there. This week they left it alone, so it's a little bit like an outdoor section, and yet they still got the lap times up over 50 seconds, so I really like what they've done with the track this week. Seems like the floor space is big. It's a lot like what we see in the Astrodome, and they've got a lot of room to work with. The dirt's good. Besides this being a really impressive venue, the track's always great.
Number 1, Travis Preston, currently sitting in 2nd place. That's the spot where he made the pass earlier on Pascal Leray on the KTM. But right now, it's Travis Preston sitting in 2nd, his teammate Christopher Gosler in 1st place as they get set for the white flag.
And Preston's gaining some. You can see that he's closing it a little bit, but probably not enough. What he's trying to do right now is just get a good rhythm. He dropped that last lap time down to a 53.7, so still not near that 52.4 from Stewart, but it's getting a little bit better. There you can see a good angle of the gap, and what a whip by Gosler. Most people whipped it back into to the right. Gosler's taking it out to the left. I think that where these guys are losing all their time, Todd, is they're not tripling through some of these rhythm sections, and Stewart is. They're going fast everywhere else. They're going through the whoops fine. They've got to triple. Out of this corner right here, you've got to triple this. See if Preston, nope, they're still doubling.
And the checkered flag is out. Christopher Gosler wins heat number 2 in the 125. He is followed by Travis Preston as we go back and look into 7th place. Now Anderson's currently sitting 7th. Remember, we're taking the top 9, and it's a great battle going on here. We'll be back with results and interviews when we return to Phoenix, Arizona, and the 125 West here on AES.
Championship.
Yeah, outdoors was kind of James' thing, but Supercross is my thing, and I'm here, I'm ready to win, and ready to keep number 1, so I'm happy.
Your winner in the 125 main, the defending champion. Just like last year, Travis Preston gets the win.
Talk softly, carry a big stick, or a big Honda as it is in this case. Talk about the Supercross season coming up on you, the number 1 plate. Does it feel like a target or a bullseye on you?
No, I can't really see the number when I ride, so I just...
Oh, funny guy.
Preston with a great move.
Can't see the number when he rides. He's got the number 1 on his back. I'm calling a bullseye because everybody wants to beat him. Now, James Stewart wanted that number last year. You didn't let him have it. What about this year? Is he going to take it? Is there someone else you're going to fight with? I mean, where's the battle on the West Coast?
Well, I mean, just look how good the number is. It's nice, it's clean, there's just 1. So I'm going to work really hard.
It's simple.
It's simple.
That's what you want to have.
It's plain, it's easy. It works.
If you have to put like double numbers on there, it's not cool. He's got 3 numbers.
It's
so
all cluttered, and it's just, it sucks.
What?
So this is better.
All right, so you're not going to give him the 1. He wants to keep it 259 anyway. So
he shouldn't even be here racing. Then he's not going to run the number 1 and go home.
Wow, now that is a solid statement. And from there, I've got to go. Best of luck to you, brother, and well, back to you guys somewhere around here.
Time now for our Honda flashback. The action at Bank 1 in 2002 was incredible. In a scary moment, David Pingree tore the front end off his motorcycle in a horrific crash. He walked away. In the main, James Stewart continued his rookie season by demolishing the 125 main field. Despite falling mid-race, he cruised to victory. It's now time for our Suzuki on track. For that, let's check in with Jamie Little.
Many things contribute to a rider's performance, but one thing stands above all: confidence. Without it, nothing else matters.
Racing's, 70%, mental and 30% riding. If he go out there, he can be the fastest guy, but not even have the confidence out there and get like 10th place, and you can go out there and not be the fastest guy, but have the confidence that you can beat everybody and win a race.
Confidence is good. I mean, these tracks are tough these days, so you got to come in here feeling good. It plays a big part.
Everybody, once you get to this level, has similar skills. So the difference is where you can set yourself mentally.
You have to be confident and believe in yourself, and if you take everybody else for granted, then you're not going to be able to do very good.
One weekend you could do it, you could win, but know that you had it easy or you got a little lucky, the main guy crashed or what have you, so it can kind of mess with your confidence that way.
I think confidence is huge because you get out, you don't worry, and worrying is where arm pump and holding on, and that's where fatigue comes in. So if you're not scared, you're going to win.
It's great to have confidence because I just go out there and nothing bothers me. I just, just enjoy what I enjoy most, just that being out there and riding my bike.
Confidence is a huge part of Supercross, and that all starts with being comfortable with your bike and everything and getting it set up the way you want it.
If I'm comfortable on the track and on the bike and everything feels good, and my confidence is good.
There's some riders that are cocky, and we know who the cocky guys are.
Chad Reed's known for a little bit of high confidence, and he's got a lot of it right now, so I think it's great.
You need to have a little arrogance, I think, because this sport's tough.
If you get a punk in there that's, throwing his head around, it makes you want to beat him. And I honestly think it's good to have, as a racer. but it's also a good motivator for me.
If you can back up what you're saying, do it. I love it.
Next week, we return to Edison International Field of Anaheim for round number 5 of the THQ World Supercross GP and the 3rd event of the AMA Supercross Tour. When we come back, the 125 main event is up. 25th, 1992, the 125cc race in Anaheim, California. It was Jeremy McGrath's first win of the season, and it came at the 3rd event of the tour.
Taking the lead is number 1 in the series, the regional champion from 1991, trying to repeat in 92, Jeremy McGrath of California storms into the early lead. Last week at Houston, McGrath was leading the race, got tired, his arms pumped up, faded, and finished 3rd. He's determined that won't happen again here tonight. McGrath is going to win this one with ease. Of course, the Eastern guys are all going to say, sure, it's easy for him to win, but we're not there. But for now, the only story is Jeremy McGrath. He takes the checkered flag with a lot of style.
A lot of style. That was kind of a radical move. McGrath is good at that.
Well, you know, I had a little bit bad luck last week. I was out here to prove a point, you know. Those guys in the East, they really think that they can stomp on me since last race. But I think I got something coming for them.
22 riders vying for 4 positions into the main event. This is the LCQ for the 125 class. 4 laps, only 4 spots, and there's 22 riders on the line, all of them hoping to get that whole shot.
Looks like Tiger Lacey jumps out there, is going to make his work easy. Eric Sorby in the green right there, 9:17. He needs to get to a main event. Last week having some problems, having to skip it. He's a rider that could finish on the podium if he could just get there.
Travis Elliott now inherits the lead. Tiger Lacey, him going to the corner hot. And it's still Elliott coming out. Wow, we got some great action going here. 72 is Troy Adams. He's up in the top 3. Travis Elliott, your leader. Tiger Lacey currently sitting in 2nd place. Remember, it's only 4 laps. These guys are turning lap times under a minute, so this thing will be over in 4 minutes, and we're only taking 4 guys to the main event. The other 18, they'll be grabbing a dog here at Bank One Ballpark and watching the action.
Lacey out in front of this group. Sorby just decided not to triple into a corner, got passed by 2 riders, so now he finds himself in a place where it's going to get a little hectic as Lacey, oh, he comes up a little short right there. He actually goes too long and lands right into the face of the next jump. That's tough on the wrists.
Well, we've got a 4-way battle going here. Remember, only 4 of these guys will advance to the main. There is no LCQ. This is their LCQ. No semis, it's just this, and that's it.
Now we're looking at a group of guys that are going to watch this race up here with us. Sorby in the final transfer spot. He just didn't do that triple. I don't know what's happening with him. He's got moments of brilliance and moments of what the heck happened there. Couldn't believe that he didn't triple out of this section.
Oh, riders down. And that's 280. Bike number 280 is down.
And he is definitely going to be watching the main event. It's Tim Wigan.
Tim Wigan out of Chatsworth, California. Too short of a race to recover from something like that, David.
Well, at least he was trying hard. You know, you don't want to leave anything out there. You want to give it everything you got. So if you go down trying for it, you know, you can't feel too bad about that. This last chance qualifier is just what it is. You got to do everything you can to try to get to that main event. It's frustrating. You go through the whole week. All in your mind is making it to the main event. Your mechanic, all the work that goes into getting here to Phoenix, and then to have to watch the main event. Well, that's a huge disappointment.
Your current leader is Travis Elliott. He is out in front, being followed by Lacey, Harrison, and Sorby. So those are the top 4 transfer positions right now as we are at the halfway point. Remember, it's a quick race. And as the white flag comes out for our leaders, Travis Elliott out of Alvin, Texas, on board the Yamaha. Currently sits in first place. Tiger Lacey out of Wolf Creek, Oregon, also on the Yamaha, sits in second place. Then you drop down to third, and that's Tommy Harrison out of Simi Valley, California, on board the Suzuki. And the final transfer spot as it stands now, number 917, Eric Sorby out of Murrieta, California, on board the Kawasaki.
Sorby's not out of the woods yet. He triples through that section and gets a little gap on Troy Adams back there behind him, but you can see how close Adams is. If Sorby makes one mistake, Adams is in there.
Troy Adams turning the fastest time, excuse me, David, at a 56.021. So he is certainly closing the gap, and Sorby in a precarious situation cannot make a mistake as their checkered flag comes out.
Oh, Troy, close, knocks a bale off the top of the berm. He gave it everything he had, but he came up short. So finally, Sorby gets to relax a little bit and get into the main event.
And here's a look at your Nissan qualifying results. It's now time for the 125 main event as we look at our Honda main event starting grid. 22 riders, 15 laps. James Stewart right there, as well as Christopher Gosler, Kevin Johnson, Travis Preston, the 125 West defending champion. Right now, let's send it down to the track and Cameron Steele.
Well, guys, I'm down here on the track, and the gate is loaded for the 125cc main event. I want to show you this section. Tricky whoops. You got to get on the gas to get through them and stay on top. You want to rail the outside to get through this corner where James Stewart and a few other guys are doing this triple jump. The tricky part is going outside leaves you open for block passing. That's going to be the key. Can they continually get the triple jump, or will they get block passed?
Keep an eye on the SXGP.com hole shot as the 30 card is up.
There's the Zebra, bringing back the old school. Damon Bradshaw used to run this stuff years ago, and Stewart loves style. Bradshaw was all style, and he likes the pink, even though it doesn't match the green bike. It's flashy, just like his style, and he wears it well.
This is the 125 main event from Phoenix, Arizona, Bank One Ballpark on the line. Oh, Stewart getting a terrible start as he goes sideways. Let's take a look at our SXGP.com hole shot as they come around there 4 wide.
Craig Anderson out front. His starts have been beautiful until Anaheim last week. He's finally got another one. This is where he needs to be to get up there and have a chance at the podium.
James Stewart has slid back to 4th place right now. We'll see how quick a work he can make to get up to the front of the pack. Travis Preston back in the pack, didn't get a great start, and currently sitting in 2nd place right now, Matt Walker. We go on board with Tyler Evans and his ECC Suzuki number 64, 22 years of age, out of Salinas, California.
Oh, Stewart makes a mistake and has to lose a position to Preston. So once again, Preston there to pick up. Stewart gets him right back. Just behind Matt Walker, all this is taking place. And I was just about to say that if Stewart gets up there to try to get around Walker, that's not going to be easy. He already knocked Walker down in practice. I guess Walker started it. Stewart finished it. He has no problem with riding aggressive if he has to. He's behind Mertens right now on that 4-stroke Yamaha. Preston able to, right there with number 1, right behind Stewart. Here comes James for the block pass. Mertens squared right back underneath him, but Stewart is so skilled at being able to get out of those corners and still triple some of these obstacles, and now he's got a rider between himself and Preston. Preston's got to follow him through the pack to have a shot at beating him.
So right now it goes Anderson, Walker, and Stewart, your top 3 riders. Remember, we've got 15 laps here at the 125 main event. West Regional, stop number 2 here in Phoenix, Arizona.
Look at that. Stewart just throwing the bike down the face of that finish line jump to try to stay low and get around Walker. Can't wait to see what happens here. These guys, a little smack talk on the internet, a little run in practice this afternoon. Walker's well aware of who's back there.
Matt Walker out of McRae, Georgia.
If Stewart tries anything and tries to set himself up for the pass on Walker, he triples. Comes up short. I was about to say, if he sets up anything, then...
Oh, and he gets together with Preston on the inside. Preston was trying to sneak in there. James Stewart came down and just closed out his line. Look at this.
Oh, I don't believe these guys stayed up. That was Preston 2 times in a row, just getting pinched off the track. Normally he's pretty calm and pretty humorous, but I think he's a little irritated right now, not necessarily with James, but just with the situation. He's got to be motivated right now as adrenaline's pumping, and he's been able to match Stewart's pace so far.
James Stewart currently sitting in 3rd place, has no answer right now for Walker.
Just ahead of these guys. Yeah, Walker took it to the inside, block pass on Anderson, throws a tearaway off. Now he's got a clean racetrack, clean vision. He should be able to check out. Oh, Stewart trying to get around Anderson. I don't know how this kid saves the stuff he does. That was incredible. And Preston is still just glued to the back tire of James Stewart back there.
So it's Anderson, Walker, Stewart, Preston, your top 4 right now. Matt Walker, the current leader, and Walker has ridden a masterful race thus far. He knows who's behind him. He doesn't seem to be concerned with it right now, David.
He's pretty calm. What he's got to focus on right now is just ride a comfortable race. He's won before. He won in Houston last year. So he knows what it feels like to be out front. He understands pressure here. Watch Stewart. Block pass coming up. Same place Walker went for the lead. You'd think Anderson would have just tucked in there a little tighter that time. Maybe the pressure of Stewart is unbearable, but it's a good start on this race for Anderson. He just didn't start where he needed to at Anaheim to run up front and get comfortable with his pace.
James Stewart now making a run at Walker. Preston has yet to get past Anderson, so it goes Walker, Stewart, Anderson, and Preston, your top 4. And we are 5 laps into this 15-lap 125 main in the West region. And we'll be back with more of the 125 main after this short break. Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona and Bank One Ballpark. The 125 main event in progress. Well, Walker's getting out of those corners awfully fast. And here comes James Stewart. Has time for a whip, and look at this. Oh, my.
Stewart, I mean, he's dragging the foot peg up the face of these jumps to try to scrub and stay low. What a move. Around the outside. Looks over to make sure he's clear. He has to duck to the inside. That's going to allow Walker a better run. Look at this. Little nudge. Shoves the back end around on Stewart, but he's unaffected by that.
James Stewart has such a good feel for where his competitors are. You see how he took that nice tight line there, just shut the door down on Walker.
So just like a year ago, Stewart out into the lead. Already pulling a little bit of a gap on Walker. Preston moving up around Anderson into 3rd. He cannot afford to let Walker finish in front of him. If he can't catch Stewart for the win, he's got to get 2nd. Anytime Stewart wins, Preston has got to scoop up 2nd and minimize the points gap that Stewart can put on him, and then just hope at some time that he can have another race like Anaheim and Stewart struggles and still keep the championship hopes alive.
Well, last week at Anaheim, it was Preston winning. Stewart had a disastrous race, but he had a great run to get into 2nd place, really salvaged the race for him. And right now, James Stewart sits in 1st place. In 2nd is Walker. Travis Preston sits in 3rd as we've completed now 8 laps of 15.
The last lap by Stewart, a 53.5. By Preston and Walker, low 54. So Stewart is pulling away a little bit. Nothing like last year. You can see the gap right there. Preston just getting into the picture. He's going to catch Walker. Getting around him is another story, but he's closing the gap a little bit. This is where they're losing time. That straightaway right there that Stewart just finished. Walker and Preston are unable to triple out of the corner, which means they can't triple the next set either. And it's amazing that they're able to minimize the damage there and only drop a half a second a lap.
Well, we go back in the pack. A nice battle going on. 109 and 29. That's Anderson and Smith battling for 4th and 5th.
And Smith takes it. Josh Woods right there, number 61, new to the KTM team. Following Danny Smith up through that pack. What a group right there. Hamlin, number 33, had a crash last week, got collided with another rider and landed on both hands. They swelled up right away. He thought he might have broke a bone in there, but it checked out fine, and he's trying to build on something here in Phoenix.
What really surprises me, David, is we looked at Andrew Short, currently sitting in 14th place. Chris Gosselin currently sitting in 16th place. Lanovich back in 17th place. So much talent that is so far back, and James Stewart has a over 3 second lead over his nearest competitor. This is Travis Preston trying to close in on Walker for second place. Both of these men chasing James Stewart. Walker held the lead for the first 6 laps. We'll be back with the conclusion of the 125 main from Phoenix, Arizona after this. Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona, as we are in the midst of the 125 main in the waning moments of this very exciting race. Well, James Stewart's lead is now up to 4.9 seconds as the battle rages on for second place. That is Walker and Preston with only 5 laps to go. And there you see him, Walker taking a look over his shoulder. Preston comes in tight and both men going to the tough blocks. But Preston is able to ride out of it.
It's hard to tell from that angle. I don't know that Preston really went in there to try to make a dirty move. He's just trying to get in there and show him he means business, put the pressure on. Both of them almost went down. Walker still has not gotten the bike started. He's gotten shuffled all the way to the back of the pack.
Travis Preston was the first rider since Ezra Luss back in '93-94 to win back-to-back 125 season openers. Travis did it this year in 2002 and 2003. So Travis Preston's certainly a consistent rider. You talked about at the top of the show, not as flashy maybe as James Stewart and his snazzy zebra gear, but he's solid. He's always going to be there.
Well, he's funnier. We'll give him that. I'll tell you what, James is a character himself. Watch this. Watch the intentions of Preston. Dives to the inside. He's trying to get in there for a nice block pass, but they make contact because Walker had no idea he was coming in like that. When he leaned in, it looked like the handlebar of Preston caught Walker's elbow and just caught him by surprise as well. Walker is clear back, and he's in 16th right now. What a heartbreak for him after leading for so long.
Well, with 4 laps to go, we take a look at our Honda interval. James Stewart, your leader. Travis Preston in second. And look at that. That is amazing. Almost now 8.3 seconds back of the overall.
Well, this is what he felt like he could have done at Anaheim with a little bit better start, but you know, the fastest guy doesn't always win. It's the guy that gets everything going right, and Preston's pretty solid here. He had to work to get himself into second, a little contact. And Josh Woods, I just glanced over at another part of the racetrack. Josh Woods going down hard, and he was up in 4th, so there goes his chance at a podium or a top 5 finish.
Well, this is the 125 main event West Regional from Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix, Arizona. Your leader, James Stewart Jr. on board the Kawasaki number 259, and he is just absolutely gone. This has got to be somewhat disheartening for Travis Preston, who's rode a great race thus far. He's not even in the same part of the course as him.
Now, James, look at this straightaway. Triple, triple, double, single into that corner. Much faster timing than what everybody else is doing in the race. If we can just stay on him, he's got another triple coming up after the whoops that he was able to do. He's coming out of this right-hander just after the whoops. See if he does it this time. Nope, besides that, big lead's big enough, don't need to, but he's been tripling that as well and just picking up heaps of time.
Andrew Short making a run, currently in 9th place. Finished 3rd last week, but this is Andrew Short trying to make a run, salvage something out of here. The kid that comes out of Colorado Springs, Colorado, on board the Suzuki.
And, you know, he didn't look as aggressive and loose in practice as I thought he would after that 3rd place. But, you know, although it'll be disappointing compared to that podium last week, he is working himself into the top 10 and should be able to get up in there for the top 3 in this championship battle. He's still got time to maybe pick up one more position before the end, but Stewart is just long gone. 10-second lead right now. Looking for that white flag.
And here it is. James Stewart brings it around for one more lap. Your leader on the 125 main.
He reaches back and pulls his pants up. He likes everything loose. He likes his boot buckles loose. He likes it, his pants loose. If he could ride around, Fox would let him untuck that jersey and ride around like that, he would.
I thought he was trying to give out some props. He's got a logo on the back of those pants that says Bubbalicious. So maybe he was giving a little ad time to them, but James Stewart Jr. is absolutely running away. And, you know, we talked to him earlier. He said, I'm going to throw out a little style here, maybe a knack or something. And I guess when you have those for 10 seconds, you can pretty much do what you want.
Yeah, we're going to see another one. Here comes another triple. Another one. Yeah, I haven't talked to him about that. Maybe he's enjoying himself, but there's a possibility that this is a little bit of a tribute to McGrath. You know, McGrath's not out here doing those anymore, and he's figuring, hey, I want these people to have a show. Here comes the finish line jump.
James Stewart Jr., your winner in the 125 main.
2 in a row here in Phoenix. So now he'll be tied with Travis Preston for the points lead. We got a race.
We'll step aside when we come back to Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix, Arizona. We'll have results. The THQ World Supercross GP has been brought to you by Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles. By SXGP.com. Log on and get your tickets today for the THQ World Supercross GP. And by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, personal watercraft, and scooters. Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona and Bank One Ballpark as we take a look at the 125 main Suzuki results. Your winner, James Stewart, followed by Travis Preston, Danny Smith, Sean Hamlin, and Kevin Johnson. Right now, let's send it down to the track and Cameron Steele.
Well, guys, I guarantee you he likes this week's result much better than last week's second place. James, you must be feeling quite a bit better with this result.
Oh yeah, you know, even though I came from last to second last week, I wasn't too happy, you know. Got a bad start, but this week, you know, I got that Kawasaki out front in early, you know, just started putting 15 solid laps on it. But the first couple laps was chaos out there. People was going everywhere, and, you know, I just picked through it, the smartest rider, and ended up winning.
Well, you're racking up wins. Let's talk about the focus on the championship. You have the Outdoor National Championship. How bad do you want this 125 West Championship?
I mean, I think I've been the last couple weeks. I've been proving myself. You know, coming up through the pack, I'm not like out of control. You know, I'm not almost crashing and stuff. You know, and I want this championship bad. You know, hopefully, you know, I can do it with my Kawasaki out there, and hopefully, it ain't nobody gonna get lucky this time.
Right on. Congratulations to James. Unbelievable race. And back up to you guys.
And now it's time to take a look at our Suzuki Series standings. We have a tie atop the leaderboard with Travis Preston and James Stewart, both with 47 points. Let's go back down to the track and Cameron Steele.
Now I'm up here on the podium with the guy that came through in second place. Last week you won. I know you don't like where you're at in this race, but it's got to be satisfying to know that you and Bubba are racing for this championship and keeping it first and second.
Yeah, it's really fun. I'm having a good time out there. We were battling in the beginning. We got together a couple times. He got out in front and just pulled out a lead, but I rode a good race. I mean, I thought I rode better than last weekend.
I want to specifically ask you about one thing. No more Mr. Nice Guy with Travis Preston. Let's talk about the pass on Matt Walker.
That was a pretty good pass. I mean, I couldn't get around him, and Bubba's pulling away, so I had to do something. We came in, we hit. I mean, finally it pays off being, you know, tall and a little bit husky, so it's working out.
All right, paid for him tonight. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Next week, we return to Edison International Field of Anaheim for round number 5 of the THQ World Supercross GP and the third event of the AMA Supercross Tour. On behalf of my colleagues, Jamie Little, Cameron Steele, and David Bailey, I'm Todd Harris saying good night from Arizona. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. The 2003 AMA Supercross season opener at Edison International Field in Anaheim was anything but routine. At a midweek press conference, 7-time Supercross champion Jeremy McGrath announced his retirement.
It's been great.
He was honored in the opening ceremonies, and it was a fitting place as his first victory in 1993 and his last in 2001 both came in front of sold-out Anaheim crowds. In the main event, Mike Brown took the whole shot, only to be passed by Australian Chad Reed. A few laps later, Morocco crashed, creating a chain reaction that claimed Pastrana, Byrne, and Tedesco. Ricky Carmichael had some problems of his own, but incredibly moved from last place to second. However, it was Chad Reed's night and his second consecutive win of the season. Now the series has made its way to Phoenix, Arizona, and to Bank One Ballpark for the fourth stop of the THQ World Supercross GP. Welcome to Phoenix, Arizona and the Valley of the Sun for the THQ World Supercross GP. This is the AMA Supercross Series. And hello once again, everyone. I'm Todd Harris along with former champion David Bailey, and what a week it has been in the world of Supercross. And if practice has been any indication of what we'll see tonight, what a race, leading off with Chad Reed. The kid has a ton of momentum.
Well, he's full of confidence right now. He went right after Ricky Carmichael in the practice sessions yesterday and today, and those guys were really duking it out. Fast lap times. Reed got the edge, so he's just boiling with confidence right now after his win in Holland and his win at Anaheim. But Ricky Carmichael has got something to say about that. He's done well here in this stadium in the past. He started his comeback here last year. He's won here 2 years in a row, and he's got to stop Reed's momentum now.
Well, Ricky Carmichael had some problems in Anaheim. Very uncharacteristic of him. As we look at the AMA standings, it's Chad Reed out in front, followed by Ricky Carmichael, Timmy Ferry, and then David Villeman. Let's speak about David Villeman. He came off with such high hopes after a stop in Europe. In Anaheim, he just didn't ride like himself.
No, and it kind of started with the heat race. He was leading it, decided with Chad Reed gaining on him a little bit to lay up and sort of study Chad, and he just made it too easy for Reed. And then the main event was weird. The first 4 or 5 laps was people going down everywhere. Villeman was actually in last place at one point, so on a terrible night to come back to 4th, he knows he can improve on that.
Let's talk about the FIM standings right now. It's Chad Reed out in front. It's all Yamaha for that sake. Villeman in second. Then we've got Timmy Ferry in third and Sebastian Tortelli in fourth. Right now, for more on the course, the track, and the whole vibe taking place here at Bank One Ballpark, let's check in with the third member of our broadcast team, Cameron Steele.
Well, you want 250 Supercross? I got 250 Supercross for you. What else do I have? A bunch of rabid fans here in Arizona. They know Supercross and they love it. The track is set up pretty crazy. Lots of different technical sections. Triples, doubles, different sections back and forth. I don't know if they really care about the technical aspects of it. All they want to hear is dirt bikes showing off. And like I said before, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear with these guys going nuts all night.
It's now time for the THQ track map.
A giant start here at Phoenix, a 100-yard dash to a wide first corner that looks more like an outdoor race. And the first straightaway is tough. A lot of different combinations through the rhythm section. The next left by home plate, a step on, step off, into the big triple. Another rhythm section. It's got these riders really puzzled as they make a right, head into another huge triple. And then it gets tough. 2 whoop sections, under the tunnel jump, into another triple, a right-hander, and on to the finish.
We're now set for 250 heat number 1. Let's take a look at the Nissan starting grid. Ricky Carmichael's there, as is Tim Ferry, Ernesto Fonseca, Ryan Clark, Stefan Roncada. Good to see Grant Langston in there, 111 on the KTM, and Travis Pastrana. Despite rumors of injuries and nagging knee problems, Travis is out there ready to ride, and I'm sure he's going to give us a great show.
Well, if there's anybody that can ride great while injured, it's Travis Pastrana. Great look at Chad Watts, Ricky Carmichael's mechanic. He seems pretty relaxed right there. Needs to be a little bit more keyed up than that. 30-second cards up. There's Travis, always playing to the camera. You never know what's going on in that kid's head. All I can say about him is he is fast.
And Ryan Clark will give us our onboard look as the card is up and we are ready to race. A great pull by the entire field. Ricky Carmichael's up there, but can he close the deal? And it's Travis Pastrana getting the whole shot. Ricky Carmichael with the inside line as we go on board with Ryan Clark.
Oh, hold on to yourself. This is going to get good. After what happened last week, look at this. Ryan Clark giving us a great angle. Fonseca trying for the block pass right there, maybe being a little bit too nice. He needed to get that done to stay in contact with the 2 leaders. They're already checking out.
Well, everyone knew that Travis Pastrana was fast. They just didn't know how healthy he is after that horrific crash last week with Mike Morocco. And look at this, Travis Pastrana just pulling through that whoop section, but right behind him, Ricky Carmichael.
Well, this time I wonder how Ricky will attempt the pass, because last week it wasn't dirty, but Travis went down when they got together a little bit, and I think everyone's heard about how that turned out by now. He's got the same thing going on again. He's got to get around this kid. Travis is not easy to pass, but his rhythm through this section isn't the fastest one, I don't think. I think Ricky's figuring that out, so he'll make a note of that.
If you're coaching Ricky Carmichael right now, knowing how intimidating he is, do you tell him just to sit on the back of Travis Pastrana and force him into making a mistake, or does he do what he did last week and just push the issue, maybe getting the fans' ire out?
You know what? The heck with the fans right now. I'm not saying that, but from Carmichael's standpoint, you know, just do what you have to do to win the race. Let the fans do what they do. It doesn't really matter. It's nice to have them cheer for you rather than boo, but probably needs to bump more than they bumped last week. That wasn't anything like what it used to be in the 80s. It was just, I think people were just bummed that the race that they were having was over with.
Travis Pastrana, your leader out of Davidsonville, Maryland, on board the Suzuki, and look at Ricky Carmichael. Look at the speed.
Wow, Travis going all the way wide. That's confidence right there to just be able to leave the door that far open. And he's going so fast with that first corner that he opens up a gap. Even though that rhythm down the next straightaway might not be the fastest one, it's the one he's comfortable with. And he builds a gap going in that Ricky can't close.
And it looks like, from my perspective, that Ricky is just searching for a line that's going to work, maybe later on in the main, whatever it's going to be. But Ricky is just searching and playing this course right now, and he is right there waiting for Travis to let the door open just a little bit. Ricky Carmichael, number 4, sitting in second place on board the Honda. Travis Pastrana, your leader, in this heat number 1 of the 250cc class.
Unbelievable to think that Thursday, Travis went out. That was his first opportunity to ride after last weekend. And he goes to the outside again. And, hey, he knew Ricky was too close. He couldn't afford to leave that door open. But Thursday, when Travis rode, he was in so much pain, he was screaming.
Look at this.
Well, this kid, last year here, popped his knee out of place in practice. They put it back in, rode in incredible pain, won his heat, got second in the main. It was Carmichael that he chased the whole way, and Ricky's just learning right now. I know he wants to win this race, but there's still time, a couple laps to go. You're going to see something here. It's not over. Here it comes.
Well, at the halfway point, Ricky Carmichael gets to the outside, cannot close the door. Back comes Travis Pastrana. What an amazing turn of events.
Travis knew it, too. He could feel Ricky on his inside, laid up, and made sure he got a good run at the whoop section.
Oh, look at that. Travis left it open a little too long. Let's go back and look at it one more time.
He checks him out. He's going, okay, go ahead. He makes a quick pivot. He's able to get a good run at the whoops where Ricky just didn't get set up right. I wouldn't be surprised to see Travis put another pass on him before this is over.
Well, Travis Pastrana goes 6'2", 180 pounds. He is awesome through the whoops, where Ricky Carmichael, 5'6", tenacious as all get out, who is your current leader right now. This is a great matchup. Remember, 20 riders, 8 laps, the top 4 to the main, 5th through 20 to semi-1. Now we'll step aside, take a quick break. When we come back, the conclusion of heat number 1 from Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona, Bank One Ballpark. This is the THQ World Supercross GP AMA Supercross Series. Your current leader right now, Ricky Carmichael, leads heat number 1. Travis Pastrana currently sits in second place, and Ricky Carmichael goes down. Pastrana goes right over him, and Pastrana goes down.
I was just about to say, Todd, that while we're putting so much focus on Ricky and Travis as they get going, there they are together again. Fonseca was hanging with that. He was able to scoop up the leftovers right there. Great confidence booster for him, staying close enough to take advantage and maybe pick up this heat win.
So Ernesto Fonseca out of Canyon Lake, California, on board the Honda, inherits the lead here with 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go in heat number 1. Top 4 go to the main, and right now he's got his problem. So Roncada stops, and there's Grant Langston, 111, to pick up the pieces on board his KTM, and right behind him, 15, Tim Ferry. So what a jumble of standings, David.
Unbelievable that Fonseca that was on a silver platter. He goes into a corner and stalls it, and just so nonchalantly tries to start the bike. Now coming into the corner, the left-hander at the end of this rhythm section, yesterday Langston went to the inside, and Michael Byrne, Ferry just went down just behind that. Michael Byrne landed right on Langston's sore shoulder. Langston stayed down for a while. He seemed in a lot of pain. It was an accident. Byrne apologized, but it's just amazing the kind of a hit that Langston could take and still go out and ride like this and win a heat.
Grant Langston, originally from South Africa, now living in Lake Elsinore, California, on the KTM Red Bull KTM Racing. Talk about being in the right place at the right time.
And you know what we got? 2 laps to go. Carmichael's back into second, and he's got something for Langston in just a little bit of time. It'd be amazing if he could make that mistake, get back up. Here's the white flag, and still win this race.
So Grant Langston has 1 lap to hold off Ricky Carmichael to pick up a heat number 1 win here in the 250. The question is, can he do it? And how is Ricky Carmichael's psyche? This is what, his 3rd drop in 2 events. Anaheim last week, he went down twice in the main. Having some problems there, David. What do you think the issue is?
He's pushing really hard. You know, the pace is a little bit different this year. There's a lot of guys that can attack him. And he's a bit against the ropes right now and maybe trying just a little too hard. And this is difficult dirt to read. It looks great, but then it's actually kind of hard-packed and slippery in spots.
Certainly not as tacky as we had last week in Anaheim, but right now the question is, can the South African on board the KTM, Grant Langston, hold off the defending champion in Ricky Carmichael on the Honda as they get a great run to the whoops here? It looks like Langston might do it.
He's got to protect this inside.
Grant Langston picks up heat number 1 victory with Ricky Carmichael in tow. What an amazing race for Langston. He was sitting back in 6th place. Fonseca inherited the lead. Not the case. Grant Langston, your winner.
Ricky's shaking his head. He hates to lose. Can't stand it.
Well, let's take a look at the action one more time and see if we can figure out what went wrong.
Coming into this left, this is where home plate would be when they're playing baseball. Loses that front end right there. He just wasn't high enough up in the berm. Travis runs over the bike, loses his balance. He's got to be kicking himself, as is Fonseca. They had it. This is Fonseca's problem. Goes into the corner, gets ready to do the triple, and stalls it. That one's got me puzzled because he's going fast enough right there. Unless he was in 3rd gear or something, right, to get ready for that triple. Can't believe he'd stall it right there of all places.
Unbelievable finish, but Grant Langston is your winner as we look at the Honda Heat 1 official results. Langston, Carmichael, Fonseca, and Pastrana all moving on to the main event. Right now, let's send it down to Cameron Steele.
Moto number 1 winner, Grant Langston, up here on the podium. Grant, you had a podium in Europe. This is your first win on the 250. You've got to be really stoked about it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, as much as it's just a heat race, it's still a win. You know, it's great for my confidence. You know, it's been a bit of an up and down ride on the 250 so far. Some good results, but some crashes. So, you know, we're working things out, and things seem to be getting better.
That's kind of a strange heat race. It looked like there were some gremlins out there. Did you see any carnage along the way to the win?
Yeah, I saw Travis and Ricky go down. That was about it. And the rest was just, I made some passes, which worked out good for me.
Great job, Grant. We'll see you in the main.
Thanks a lot.
Once the gate drops, the rider is on his own. There's no more time for preparation, but there is one lifeline remaining, the pit board.
That's the stuff I like to see in a pit board. Just fun stuff, stuff to make you laugh, stuff to get your mind, if you will, not off the race, but off of the, you know, the arm pump and everything else that you're going through.
Travis isn't too serious about the pit board, actually.
The only way we can talk to the rider, communicate with the rider once the race starts is with the pit board.
Pit board's a big thing because, you know, the race is 15 laps, and when you get out there by yourself in the lead, you know, your mind starts to wander.
Some riders never look at it, but Mike, from what I've worked with him, he looks at it every lap.
It's important, I think, more if you're leading, so you know if your pace is good enough or somebody's catching it. You need to know what's going on.
Seems like when you're in the, you know, the heat of moment and you're racing, I don't look at it. I know where everyone's at.
You know, for me, the biggest importance of the pit board is the information of, you know, what place you're in and how much time's left in the race.
It sucks when you see, like, you know, +3 and next lap you come with +2 and you kind of get freaked out. So it helps sometimes and it messes you up sometimes.
It's kind of like a mental, guide, I guess. He just kind of helps you through it.
We're now set for heat number 2 as we take a look at our THQ starting grid. As David would say, hold on to your seat on this one. We've got Chad Reed, David Villeman, teammates, but certainly both battling for that first place position. I like Sebastian Tortelli on the possible hole shot. You got guys like Ezra Lusk, Heath Voss, Ivan Tedesco, Steve Boniface. The list goes on, and then you've got The Rock, Mike LaRocco, who's got an enormous bruise on his posterior because of the collision he had last week with Travis Pastrana.
Simon sideways. Good one for Lusk.
Ezra Lusk getting pinched off there at the last possible moment and bringing him down the front way. It's number 90, Marco Dubé, who gets the whole shot but loses it right away to Ezra Lusk, number 11. So it's Ezra Lusk who will lead them around the green lap out of Bainbridge, Georgia, on board the Kawasaki.
Michael Murr making a mistake at the approach of the triple, couldn't do it, got shuffled back a couple spots. Ezra right away yesterday established himself as I'm going to be a tough contender here. Last week was a mess. He's here to turn it around, but it's going to be tough to do with the pressure of Reed that he's starting to feel.
Speaking of which, right behind him is Chad Reed. 20 years old out of Newcastle, Australia. The Thunder from down under. Chad Reed sits in second on board the Yamaha. Ezra Lusk on the Kawasaki number 11 is your leader as they go through. Brown sits in third. David Filament right now sitting in fourth. But Marco Dubé got the whole shot. He's already slid back to fifth.
That powerful 450 Honda four-stroke on this long start. As long as you get out over the gate, get a smooth clutch delivery in that first 10-15 feet. Here comes the block pass maybe. Nope.